Hey toy family, welcome to the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham.
I'm Teresa Hawkins.
I'm George Gaspar.
And once again, joining us from the East, back on the show is Datadub. Welcome back, Datadub.
You're not going to give me the full
Yeah!
title?
The full shebang?
Kratzer.
I know,
Yeah.
it does feel a little weird just to say Datadub, because I never... Don Datadub Kratzer is joining us. Welcome, Don.
It's nice to be here. You're the only guy who does that, but I love the way you do it.
I like saying your full name. I don't say it for anybody else but you.
I feel honored because now I just call you Dawn. And you
Yeah.
allow me to call you that.
We're on a first name basis.
When people approach you at a convention, do they call you Datadub or do they call you Don?
Both. Depends on how they know me. A lot of times when I meet new people, I'll say, yeah, I'm Don, we'll talk, and then I'm like, and they'll go like, wait, are you Datadub?
So do you say
Now, is
Data
it-
or Datadub? I
Is it
heard you
Data?
say Data.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Datadub or Datadub?
Datadub.
Gosh, I've been saying it wrong for
Gary
years. Datadub. Don
There's no-
Datadub Kratzer.
It's no wrong answer.
Well, Don, we just saw you a few weeks ago at DesignerCon, and I know in between then and now you've also done another convention. Was it
Tokyo Comic Con.
Tokyo Comic Con? And then you're doing another one next week. You are Mr. Convention. How many have you done so far?
Overseas, I'll do about 10 a year.
Overseas? Okay. Mostly in Asia, though? You probably just do 2 in the States.
3 in the States, do 5 Points, Comic Con, and Decon.
Yeah, I forgot about Comic Con.
And then do 1 in England, ToyCon UK.
Yep.
The rest in Asia.
Okay. Nice.
And then it's not counting Japan ones. Those I can take the train. So they don't count.
What'd you think of the new improved DesignerCon this year? How was it for you guys?
Decon was great. They were in the new venue, so everybody had to adjust to the change in scale. We were definitely way at what I was calling the far east, the far wall of the convention. But
That's a good name. That's funny.
people made their way over to see us. Yeah, it was positive. We did as well as we did, or better than last year. So we'll definitely be doing it again.
Awesome.
Big thanks to Ben. He always treats us right. I give a lot of credit to Ben for helping us put out a big face at DesignerCon.
That leads me into something I wanted to bring up. It's basically, I'll speak for myself and then you guys can agree or disagree, but I just want to say, like, I've heard from a few people that thought we had a miserable time because they thought that our review was overly negative, even though we said throughout it that we love DesignerCon. People don't hear that part, I guess. They only hear negatives. But everything we were saying was for the hope to make a great show even greater. Nothing was, I know I personally love DesignerCon. It's my favorite show of the year that I've gone to. So yeah, I just want to reiterate that we do love DesignerCon, and everything we said was only said to hopefully make things even better than it already is. And I stand by everything I said on the show.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer, George. I mean, it's sad that you even had to mention that because, we're entitled to our own opinions and to say what we want to say. And to say that it's really unfortunate that a lot of people took away that we were being just... To say that we hated DesignerCon is insane. We love DesignerCon. We wouldn't have spent the last 2.5 years promoting almost solely DesignerCon for hundreds of episodes. Like, we love DesignerCon. That goes without saying. DesignerCon is hands down one of the best events in the entire world. Like, it's an amazing event for our designer toy scene. That's a given. And so, but just because we absolutely love something doesn't mean we can't ever be critical of it. I hate that people hear some things that we say or our spoken word and they just extract only the negative points from it, because we said plenty of positive things. I know we did. I went back and listened to it. So yeah, it's a bummer to hear that people took it that way. But honestly, George, I didn't hear from those people. I received several private DMs, mostly from people that were in attendance, but I also heard from people that were not there. And in their DMs to me, they were very complimentary towards our episode and very thankful for the open and honest opinions that we did share towards the event. So yeah, maybe it's just different listeners and different different ears hearing it, George, but I hate to think that we offended somebody. Well, actually, I know we offended. I did receive one angry phone call from a vendor, but I don't want to get into that. But I know we have offended some people with the things said on our show, and that's unfortunate. That's not our intention. We do this show because we love the designer toy scene. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't. We like to think that we are supporting the scene and not tearing it down.
Yeah. No, I will just pipe up real quick and agree that Designer Con's obviously awesome. I have a blast going every year. I've been enjoying going ever since I started, and I always look forward to it. So yeah, I think in general, when we provide feedback, whether it's about Designer Con or anything, it's really because we love this scene and we want it to do well, and we just are excited to talk about it, but we also want to provide feedback as well. So Designer Con was awesome. I'm sad that it's over.
Me too.
We're all in agreement then. It should be 4 days.
No.
No.
Oh,
No. No. That preview night was nice. That was a nice addition. It helped de-stress the weekend, but no 4th day. But let's move on. Next topic. Who has one?
I got one, Gary.
Okay.
Can I go?
Should we do
So
timer?
I'm curious.
You want to do timer? Keep us
I don't
on
know.
track.
It's really just a question for Dawn, but feel free to time.
Okay, Don, you got
All right.
3 minutes.
All
Go.
right. Go.
Okay, well, so I know we've been talking about all the shows you've been going to, and you just recently got back from Tokyo Comic-Con. And I'm just curious, whenever I think of Comic-Con here in the States, it's very much focused on pop culture and comics and movies and all that kind of stuff, and toys is just a small subset. But when I look at Tokyo Comic-Con, it almost feels the opposite. Like all the news, and granted it's because I'm in the scene, but I'm seeing Instinct Toy and all these big toy names. So are Comic-Cons over in Asia different than the Comic-Cons we have over here? Is there a lot more of a designer toy presence in the Comic-Cons overseas?
That is a great question. Tokyo Comic-Con is a weird animal. It's only been the 3rd year, and basically the concept was, let's do a Western style Comic-Con in Japan with all the things that are associated with Comic-Con, bringing over Stan Lee and movie stars and having a giant Hot Toys booth and having props and things, and then also having like artist section and having some designer toys in the mix. And a lot of companies aren't exactly sure what to bring to that show because it's a crowd that's very much into like Marvel and Star Wars and that kind of thing. But there's a smattering of designer toys. I'd really say there's a few of the Japanese soft vinyl guys that had booths. Unbox will have a table anywhere. The most surprising thing is that Instinct, they're a sponsor and they make a pretty big presence there. As you saw, the fortress that they built in the middle of that show. That's the only Comic-Con in the world that has a giant Instinct fortress in the middle of it. I'll say that for sure.
Was that the event that they skipped DesignerCon for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. So apparently there was like a VIP room inside that booth. I was talking to some of the...
Holy cow.
Nuts.
Oh, it was...
Okay,
it
so
was,
there's a larger presence of the pop culture stuff there. It's just because I'm in the scene. I'm seeing mostly the toy news.
I mean, conversely, this was like, I think Funko Pops are actually starting to get some traction here. Hot Toys had a big wall of them, and they seem to be selling quite well at the show. So, hooray for Funko.
I love that Hot Toys is the guys that spread Funko over there. That's so cool to me.
Yeah, it's definitely they have a shop called Toy Sapiens, and it's definitely like the high end and the low end when you go in there. I mean, by low end, I mean like price point stuff. They have the Hot Toys, $400 Iron Man, and then they had a wall of $15 pops, and they used to have a big wall of the reaction figures when Funko was handling that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they are the Western licensed specialist, as it were, for Japan. So they know how all that stuff works. So they basically rep Star Wars and Marvel merchandise.
Time. That's it. You're done, Don.
Nice.
All right. No, did you want to finish your thought on that, or should we move on?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. So Teresa and I noticed something that when a lot of people come over, like a lot of Easterners might come to like a I don't know, a ToyCon UK or DesignerCon or 5 Points, they often will bring something that's patriotic or just like colors for that country. Like if they go to a DesignerCon, they might bring something that's red, white, and blue edition. Or if they go to 5 Points Fest, they might do a Statue of Liberty. If they go to ToyCon UK, they might do a Union Jack. And I don't know that, I personally don't care for patriotic toys, and maybe you guys collect them, I don't know. But is that something that just people, when you're out of country and you go to another country, you just assume that people want that sort of colorway? Or is that paying homage to that country? Or Don, do you know any reason why people will be doing like these patriotic colorways?
Yeah, artists are going to various countries and they kind of want to have an exclusive, so they're brainstorming on motifs to do for, if they want to do a Singapore exclusive or a Taiwan exclusive or America exclusive. It's kind of like, that's one of the things that probably pops into their mind is like, oh, I can do the colors of the flag. Or I like when Yasu, one of the artists that we traveled with a lot this year in Singapore, she did like one of her little cats and like did a little Singapore flag on it. And it was massively popular. Everybody wanted it.
Does that make me unpatriotic if I don't buy that stuff? Like if it doesn't even interest me? Like should I instantly be drawn to red, white, and blue? But I'm not.
I'm not either. But I also wonder, is it a bigger thing over there? Like are people more into that overseas?
I think maybe it's country to country. Here's an interesting factoid. So we sell the Metro Wego robots, right? Mm-hmm. And we have two of the newer ones was a Japan flag design and an American sort of motif one. And the American one comes with little boxing gloves. So we've been selling those kind of all over the world at all the shows we do. And it's just really interesting which markets, which ones sell, especially the America one.
And how does it sell?
So like England, I think we sold one of the American one.
Okay.
Thailand, they loved it. Sold them all. East Coast, it sells really, really well. West Coast, almost none.
When you say East Coast, West Coast, we're talking about the States.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. See, okay, I want to comment on exclusives because I understand the whole patriotic Statue of Liberty kind of stuff, right? Those are common themes. It makes sense to try stuff like that. But I can't tell you how many times I see show exclusive for other shows, and I think, oh my God, this is so awesome. Bring something like that to us. And then we get an American flag, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no, come on. Like, I don't want that. I want that other sparkly, pretty pink one. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not patriotic either. It's just not something I'm into. And I'm also, like, I'm not a New Yorker, so, like, Statue of Liberty doesn't speak to me. But, like, it always bums me out because it does seem like so many times, especially, like, a 5 Points when you're in New York, or like a decon, that they default to those kind of standard things. And I'm always like, no, but I want that other one.
That's really good feedback. Is there anybody specific you would like me to give that feedback to?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Let's put out the word. No,
like the cool stuff that you're releasing at, Beijing Toy Show and Taiwan Toy Fest, bring that same stuff to DesignerCon and 5 Points. Don't make special American, stuff for the Americans. Like, just bring that stuff over because we can't get it. Just bring that over here.
Exactly. Like sometimes people will do that whole cross exclusive thing, right? Where it's for multiple shows and it's not just one specific show. I'm totally down to have an opportunity to get any of those things. I don't know if you all can hear Bailey. I hope you can.
I can hear it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Is she attacking you or something?
No, okay. And I was trying to talk through it. No, she had to go outside, so she's been out, and then the cold weather makes her all sassy. She has a ball in her mouth and is literally running around like a rabid dog because she's all sassy from our crappy cold weather. So I was like, oh God, I hope you can hear her. So I'm trying to calm her down.
Okay, it's good to have context to it, though.
Anyway, but yeah, I am like, and I don't know if there's like specific feedback per se for specific companies, but just in general, like there's so many times where I'm like, I just want a chance at that piece. Like, bring it to us too. So
I want to clarify. I do love America. It's just I'm not into red, white, and blue colorways. Like,
dude, you're gonna get a call.
God, no more phone calls. But I know someone's gonna like take a soundbite of Teresa and I saying that we're like not patriotic, and I know it's going to be misconstrued or blown out of proportion. I love America. I love being an American. I just don't care for red, white, and blue colorways.
Amen. Go America. Woo-woo. Red, white, and blue, baby.
So let's move on to the next topic. The next one is, have you guys seen the Designer Toy World Cup custom show that Martian Toys has been promoting lately? It's going to be held at 5 Points Fest in June, and it seems like it's going to be across 14 or 16 different countries. They're going to be using the Anna Toy Bobby DIY figure. Customizers can purchase it and potentially enter into this World Cup designer toy contest, but I don't know all the details. Teresa, do you know more details about it?
Yeah, so I think when they originally started it, they were just going to accept all entries and then have them in the show. But I think because of the level of interest, they decided to do a qualifying round. So listen to this, Gary. They actually posted a how-to post. Okay, so let me read through this. All right. So there is a qualifying round, requires you to buy the Anna DIY toy, customize it, and post it by or before March 1st using a specific hashtag.
I have a question.
They're going to... Oh, go ahead.
What the heck toy is that? Has anyone even heard of that thing?
It's fairly new. It's like in the last year or two we've been seeing it.
Does anyone care about that toy?
Yeah, I actually like it. I think it's a pretty good actual... basis for a DIY toy. It comes apart easily. You can easily sculpt on it. I actually like it.
It's a little, the pudgy shape is a little odd to me, but I mean, it does have a lot of articulation and it's more of a human figure.
It's funny that you mentioned the pudginess though, because most really good custom platforms all have that pudge. It's like, look at the Bear Brick and the Dunny or even the Key even. They all have that basically what my side profile is. I got that. I got a little dad pooch. That's what the figure has. That's me. Maybe that's why I like it.
So you know what? I'll buy one. I'll customize it to look like you, Gary. That'll be my entry.
You've lost already.
I'm curious. I don't know the origins of it, George. Did Martian Toys work with an artist to create this ANA?
No.
Sorry, I keep wanting to say ANA.
No.
This Anna Toy figure?
Oh. Anna Toys, they're a Korean designer, toy maker. They've been doing the circuit for the last year and a half or so. Okay. And that's their original toy.
Yeah, I've been following them for a while, and I actually really like what they're doing. I actually like the toys. If my finances are different, I would own several pieces. They're fantastic. I think they're great. But for those people who aren't that familiar with Anna Toy and what they're doing, I think this event, Designer Toy World Cup, that's going to get it in front of more people's eyes. And honestly, it's a great way to potentially move product. I think there's going to be a lot of purchases for the DIY figure because of this event.
Well, and I know Martian Toys, I mean, I'll give them credit. They're very big about custom shows. And I think the one thing that they're really good at doing, and it's really cool of them, is that they're open to new customizers and also help kind of bringing them to light in the scene. So, we always have the bigger customizers, right? Certain names that are always producing awesome stuff. But there's obviously people who are just up and coming. And I think it's great that they offer them the opportunity to be in these shows and show their work at a 5 Points or a Decon or even all the various, and they do New York Comic Con and all the shows at Mothership. So I give them props. I mean, this kind of falls in line with what they've been doing for the longest time. So I think it's a cool opportunity for some people, especially if they're not as well known.
I absolutely agree. This is one of the few ways that someone just starting out can get their stuff noticed. It's, most events are curated and most customizers are hand selected. So this is a great way for anyone just starting out to get their stuff noticed. And it actually kind of reminds me of the old, Money World days that Kid Robot used to do. They used to host a contest where you can customize a money and you submit it and anyone can participate and your stuff will be judged by a panel of very well respected and renowned people within the industry. So that was a great event, and it's nice to see that Martian Toys is kind of doing something along those lines and seem to be having fun with it. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because, even someone like me who has dabbled in it slightly, I could do it. If I wanted to, I could take a stab at this. Everyone can join in, as they say. Did you want me to go ahead and finish the rules so you can edit all those in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you post it by March 1st using their hashtag. And then they're going to announce teams. One country team will consist of 4 to 8 members. So I guess for each country, if they get more than 4 to 8 submissions, they'll narrow it down. And then they says they're going to have a competition at 5 points, and they'll do a trophy for the winning team, meaning the winning country, I assume.
It sounds like a lot of work. I mean, good on Martian Toys for wanting to take it on. They've done custom shows of 100 pieces at events and stuff like that. So, they're experienced in this area. But to me, I hear this, and it sounds like a lot of work to even, what if you get 20, 30, 40 submissions from one country? And you got to narrow that down to 4 to 8 and potentially break hearts. And I don't know, but good on them.
And then who gets the trophy? If your team has 4 to 8 members, who gets the trophy?
Well, maybe there's 4 to 8 trophies. Maybe everyone gets a trophy.
I want to know how they're going to decide who wins.
Are they going to be for sale?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, it seemed like they would put them for sale just like they do any other custom show. It does say they're going to limit to 100 max pieces. But yeah, I don't know how they decide the trophy winner. Is it going to be their vote? Are they going to do like a vote at 5 points or like a community thing?
I'm sure there'll be some sort of public vote involved. Maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. Stay tuned for more details. Let's talk about studio visits. Don, I'm sure you've done a lot of traveling. You know a lot of artists. You've probably gone in and out of a bunch of different company studios and artist studios and the like. So, Don or George, Teresa, have you guys ever visited a studio? And what have been some of your favorite studios that you visited?
Well, I'll just come out and say that it's sad because I haven't, and it bums me out. I've never had a chance. When would I have ever had a chance to visit someone's studio?
I don't know.
But it would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. So, George, Don, where have you guys been? What have you guys seen?
I'll go if Don wants to think about it for a minute.
Go ahead, George.
Because I just went right after DesignerCon. I had Dr. A staying with me, and he made an appointment to get a tour of Sideshow while he was here. So since he stays with me, I get to drive him around. So I got to drive him out to Sideshow, and I got to get a tour of Sideshow. And they've definitely changed since the last time I was there many, many years ago. And they are now like a campus. It's no longer just a building.
Wow.
There are 3 buildings big now. It was an amazing tour just to see the amount of work that they've done. I mean, you think of Sideshow and you think of certain things, and just the breadth of their work is stunning. The scale of everything from, small toys to giant statues to life-size toys, quote unquote, it was incredible. And they also had a Hot Toys room, which it was like a Hot Toys meeting room. And it had like every Hot Toys figure on display on the wall. It was incredible.
Wow.
Like just to see these different rooms like that. They had the whole R2-Me2 custom show on display in one office. Like, it was crazy. The whole place looks like an amazing place to work.
That sounds awesome. That's very cool. Teresa, do you know what Sideshow is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I know you got some heat from the last episode, so I just want to make sure.
I know. I can't know everything, so I do my best.
But you do know what keys are. You just didn't realize he was talking about keys, but you know what they are.
Yeah, I was just being goofy because you said keys. I was like, oh, it sounds like you're talking about car keys or door keys. But yes, I do know what Sideshow is.
Okay, good. People don't realize that when you're doing this show, like sometimes you have to play stupid just to be entertaining for something. So I know I've done that, and maybe that's what you're doing too. I don't know, but anyways, George, that going to Sideshow sounds awesome. That actually sounds like a full day sort of thing too.
It was actually like a 4-hour visit. It was crazy. That
sounds really cool. I wish I saw that. That sounds neat. Don, what about you? Have you been to any good studio visits?
Most of the people I know they're just small artists, and half of them either work at home or just have some little workspace somewhere. So I'm actually planning to visit a few studios in Hong Kong next week. So I'm looking forward to that.
We're a week premature.
Have you seen pictures of Chino Lamb's new little studio space?
I haven't. Not that I recall. That sounds cool though.
Yeah, I want to see that. So, I mean, I've actually asked a few other people, can I visit? And they're like, oh, our place is just like stacked with toys and you can't walk around and it's filthy. And like, can we just go out to dinner?
No, I get that too.
No one ever realizes that that's the stuff you want to see, like, because they're all just like, they live in it every day.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that it's really cool to somebody else who doesn't see it.
That's true. Huh.
Yeah, just to see like how people work. But I don't know, it'd be cool.
I thought
to
Don
see
was going to have
some
this
of that.
long list of amazing studio visits, but no. Don.
No.
Huh.
Sorry.
All right, well, let's move on.
Well, can I ask a question semi-related, Gary?
Sure.
So there's studios and stuff, but another thing that seems a lot bigger over there that I'm always super sad when I hear about is there's all these branded, it's like the toy companies will combine and do these like pop-up events. So like Fluffy House will do like a Fluffy House cafe, or Uamu will do something where people can go to a certain restaurant and like Uamu Toys will be there to buy. There's all these sort of pop-up-y restaurant themed events, it seems, going on over there.
Yep.
Is that a common thing? Do you get to go to those often? Because I'm always super bummed. I see all these releases and stuff at cafes and whatnot, and I just can't ever go, and I just want to cry. I just want to be there. But is that common, and do you attend those frequently?
Yeah, I mean, it's relatively common. I mean, you know, big city like this, like retail's pretty competitive, so shops and cafes and things are always trying to think of new ways to bring people in. Wamo, definitely Wamo is the one that has done several like pop-up collaborations with cafes. I mean, whenever she does one, I definitely try to go check it out.
Have we been saying her name wrong the entire time?
Wamo?
Wamo. Is that what you're saying? Wamo? I've been always saying Owamu. It's a Wamo.
Uamu is what I say. So it's Wamo?
Wamo. I would assume that Datadub saying it correctly. He lives in Japan. Wamo. Wamo.
I just tell people when they tried to say it, like, just remember the old like toy brand Whammo?
Yes.
So, like, it's kind of like Whammo.
Okay, so talking about the
Well, real quick. Is there a favorite pop-up event you've gone to, Dawn, that you think has been done really well?
I'm trying to think of any ones other than the Wamo one, because you brought it up. The Wamo one she did with the owl and Ikebukuro.
Yes.
That one was really nice.
All right, Gary, go ahead.
Okay, so we were just talking about how you got confused on the keys. Was it the queue or just a house key sort of thing? So that brought up, someone mentioned on the group, like how history sort of lost on a lot of the new collectors within the designer toy scene. So I'm curious, like, do you guys find it important for collectors to know the history of a lot of the toys and artists that have come and gone and companies that have come and gone? Like, how important is history to, say, like, the new collectors coming in?
I don't know if it's necessarily important. I think that information should be available, though, because I think there's people that want to know it. The only thing that annoys me are people that think they know it but don't.
Yeah, I'm not talking kaiju to you. I'm going to sound like a total jackass. But when someone comes on and mentions Toy 2R, for instance, and the keys, like, that was something George collected tons of back in the day. And from what I know, and I actually don't know the full history of what happened to Key. I heard the U.S. distribution ended up stopping, but from what I've heard, it's still continuing in the East. Is that true?
I think Raymond became like a politician or something. I don't even know if he's making toys anymore.
Okay.
The keys that was a huge influence or had a big impact on me, because Toy 2R did kind of a key international summit exhibition here in Tokyo. Gosh, almost probably close to 10 years ago. But that was like the first time I kind of met artists that from outside Japan. I mean, that's where I first met Rolito, Jamie Hayon, Coop, Curb from the UK. Yeah, it was just, that was the kind of the first time I like hung out with sort of like international artists. We all went to karaoke and dinner and stuff. So I don't know. I think that kind of influenced me they're like, this is fun. I want to do that more.
Yeah. I mean, back to your original question about knowing history and how critical it is, Gary. I mean, I'm kind of with Don. I think I like that information to be out there, and we probably could be better. I mean, it might be buried out there in different forms and fashions, but to me, it's not. I don't think it's critical. Like, I like to know, like, I like knowing about the history and digging in, but some things obviously interest me more than others. And like, I've liked learning about the scene, but I feel like there's a spectrum of collectors out there, and some people just want that cool looking thing and they don't care to know what was made 10 years ago. They just like looking at what exists now, kind of a thing. Or they might do what I do, and I think all collectors do, where as you get to know the scene and you get to delve into a specific artist or style, you start hunting for more, right? And you start saying, oh, what else is out there? And what's this thing called Kid Robot? And, oh, what's Sofubi? And you kind of delve, right? And then I think naturally you kind of tentacle into the past. And I know that's what happened for me. Like, I'd go out there and I'd see what exists, but then I'd see, oh, there was this thing made a couple years ago and I really like that. Let me try to find that. And, oh, there was this artist and who are they? So I think naturally people kind of delve in the history as they collect, but don't know if it's necessarily like a critical thing, like a rite of passage type of thing, right? Where like you must know these things in order to be a true collector.
It's kind of like music, right? I mean, there's people who can just, turn on the radio and listen to anything, and then people who get really into certain genres. And
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, the information's out there. Anyone who wants to know the history, the internet's been around since Designer Toy started, so the information's out there, and that's one reason we have all those libraries like Tramped and Rotocasted and Clutter magazines and Playtimes magazines and all the great toy blogs. Like, if you go a deep dive into any of the toy blogs, you're going to learn some history for sure. But maybe that's something that we can focus on more with season 4, though, as well, because I know one of our most downloaded episodes of all time was when we were talking to Jim Crawford from Strange Co. People love hearing the history of that company, how they started and mistakes made, and why they ended up shuttering their doors. To maybe we can talk about to some where are they now sort of things, find out where Neth Creatures are, or Van Meter from Jamungo, and Baroness from Kid Robot. Like, where are people?
Was a classic. Bob Africa, that was a classic.
Oh yeah, wow, we had him on really early on, and then Paul Budness joined and told us some of the history of how he started and founded Kid Robot and some of the stories there. It's like, I love hearing all that stuff, so maybe we can focus more on that in season 4, where you can track down the Critterbox guys and some more artists, and yeah, that could be fun.
We should think about some of the toys that were like influential that no one might know anymore. Like, people should know the like Eric So Hellboy. Pieces like that.
Yeah. No,
pieces that were huge and influential, but nobody even today might not even know what that is.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And for me as someone who, like, I feel like I know some, but I know there's plenty still for me to learn, especially when it comes to some of the older stuff. I'd be interested to kind of learn, have like a little segment of, I don't know, like delve into the history and teach Teresa something new today.
Like this day 10 years ago in Designer Toy News.
You know what? We actually have that exact. That's that's an idea we've been wanting to do for a while. It's in our show notes. Like, we want to talk about that every week. Maybe mention 3 to 5 toys that were released 10 years ago. It's just a matter of doing the deep dive and researching it all.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of stuff we could cover on delving into the past.
Yeah, we can't cover it all, but we're chipping away at it. We're 100 and so episodes in. We'll come back strong in season 4. Is this our last episode for the season?
I know we talked about doing one more, but will we make it?
I don't know. Maybe one more.
I think we might squeeze one more in. Maybe it'll be super lighthearted, Christmas themed or something. I don't know.
We need a gift guide episode.
A gift guide?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, sounds like we need to do a special holiday edition. We can talk about things on our want list, who's been naughty or nice. I can pump in some Christmas jingles in the background, a little crackle of the fireplace.
We'll drink eggnog.
Or hot chocolate.
I'll bring the marshmallows. But getting back to the history of things, I think maybe across all platforms, blogs, podcasts, all of us, maybe we can do like a Designer Toy History Week or something like that.
You should have Designer History Month.
Well, I know, a month is a long time.
Designer toy history.
I think we could pull off the Designer History Week, though, across all platforms. It'll take some... I think we could do it. I think we could pull that off. But let's move on to the next topic.
Let's end it.
So, no, we have a few more.
It's supposed to be a half hour. What the heck happened?
Come on, George.
You can leave if you want, George. Is your dinner ready?
No, I gotta go make some molds.
Oh.
Oh, well, a few more, George. Hang in there.
Okay, boys, Christmas is almost here, and Santa's coming to town. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Last night, you guys got to meet Santa and told him what you wanted. How did you know how to find the things on your wish list?
By remembering.
By remembering? No, you guys would look at the Target catalogs and look at all the toys and circle them and all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
listeners, you know how they find the toys on their wish list?
Yeah, because they go to stores and
Because
they
they don't just look at the- and then they
look
pay
for
No.
toys that they want.
No, they go to the toy blogs. The toy blogs are the one that do all the research and all the gathering of information and put their version of the toy catalog for our listeners. And those toy blogs are SpankySoaks.com and the Toy Chronicle. And they also use the Toy Chronicle app to also search for toys on their wish list. Now, have you guys been naughty or nice?
Nice.
And what have you been working on to be nice?
Listening.
Listening, going to bed on time,
And being respectful.
being respectful.
And being responsible and have
How
fun.
about cleaning up your toys?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
But I cleaned the toys up by myself and he didn't.
Come on.
The other toys.
Okay, so when you're nice, Santa and his elves make things for you, and Santa, with the help of his reindeer, deliver them to your home. Do you think our listeners have been naughty or nice?
Naughty.
Yes, our listeners have definitely been naughty. They've been saying bad words and fornicating and all sorts of stuff. So Santa and his elves, they still make toys for our listeners, but they don't deliver them to their homes.
They get poop.
They don't get food. Santa and the elves just don't deliver to them their homes. They make them go to stores and buy the stuff themselves. That's what happens to the naughty kids. They have to buy their own toys. So you know what stores that they go to?
No.
.com.
No. So they can go to stores like 3dretro.com or strangecattoys.com or myplasticheart.com. And if they live in the Burbank adjacent California area, they can visit 3D Retro and see that beautiful store at that location. Or if they go to strangecattoys.com, they can use promo code Marsham at checkout and receive 10% off their entire order. Or if they go to myplasticheart.com, they can use promo code TOYFAM. And if they have an order of $75 or more and they live in the United States, they will receive free shipping on that order. All right, boys. Thank you for your help. Okay, tell our listeners Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And be nice.
And be naughty.
Be nice.
Naughty.
Nice.
I was going to bring up, we were talking about the Martian Toys customizer show, and there's been some other customizer stuff popping up related to super plastic. So I don't know if you wanted to bring that up, Gary, about how it seems we're very, very close to finally having some super plastic product in hand to look at. I know they've been posting actual products on their Instagram, but then they've also been surprising customizers with free blanks to put their spin on it.
I saw that too. I saw Kano and Squink both posted on their social medias that they received the package, and they both received the same nice letter, basically saying that, hey, we're big fans of your work. Enjoy this special gift. Do your worst. Keep us in the loop. And XOXO Super Plastic. So that's nice that they're reaching out to some of their favorite customizers and giving them a nice gift to have some fun with. Oh, nice. I didn't see that one. But so, again, it sounds like a lot of customizers are receiving blanks from them. Either it's maybe a sign of what's to come for potential Series 2 or Series 3, or maybe there's some sort of show in the works. But either way, it's great seeing these get in the hands of customizers because I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Well, honestly, there's no way a platform toy is going to make it in today's market if it doesn't have customizers behind it. So it's smart of them to do that, because just putting out that toy and no one cares about customizing it, no one's going to keep buying it. Like, that's all anybody in this scene cares about is customizers.
And there's a lot of customizers in the scene. I kind of wonder if they only send out 10 or 20 for, special gifts to certain customizers. There's a bunch out there that are probably going to be a little jealous that they didn't receive it, because sending this stuff out like this is kind of like an acknowledgement or recognition of the talent and the skill that they have. So, especially it's coming from Paul Budnitz and Huck G, you kind of want to be part of that,
Do you have hurt feelings right now, Carrie?
No.
I was just going to ask, did you get one?
No, I actually did not. But at the same time, anyone who's listening to the show probably knows I'm not that excited about doing customs. I'll do the occasional custom show or whatever, but it's not something I'm like truly passionate about. There's a lot more customizers that these would be in better hands with. Like, I'll share this for another time, but Teresa, you know my story about what happened with the Sad Salesman custom. Like, that pretty much broke me. So no, I'm not looking forward to doing another custom anytime soon.
Yeah. But no, I think it's cool. And I know the Toy Chronicle looks to have been coordinating a kind of launch thing and signing and giveaways and all that. So that looks cool. And for those that are interested, the Super Plastic Instagram account is also doing this, like they're calling it Jingle Jangle Radvent calendar. But I guess throughout the entire month, they're doing daily prizes that you can enter. And it's super easy, no reposting. You just tag people in the post. But every day they're listing a new thing you can win. So that's kind of fun if you want to follow along and enter all their giveaways.
Yeah, I think I saw another release is going to be at Whoop Beer this weekend too. So yeah, it sounds like they're doing lots of cool things. They're always great at social media and marketing. They did a great job with the Kickstarter campaign. Then they went quiet for a bit, came back strong with the opening of the store, and now they're back again with the release of the Jankies finally.
Can't wait to actually see one.
I'm with you.
Careful, George. You might get a phone call.
Well, and it's funny. Well, semi-related to it, thinking of like what people are doing to celebrate the holidays and stuff. Kid Robot's actually been doing a lot of secret drops. Like they kind of came in and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's going to be a Jermaine Rogers colorway drop. Boom. And then they did an Octo Dunny. And now it looks like they're getting ready to do a new Watch Parts Dunny. But it's like all of a sudden they've like bombarded everyone with these crazy secret drops, and they've been really popular so far. So Kid Robot's doing a little something too to celebrate the season.
Mm-hmm. Something. I guess since we're talking about seasonal stuff, we should probably mention our sponsor, 3D Retro. They're doing a countdown to Christmas, so every day leading up until Christmas Eve, I believe they're going to be releasing a new limited edition exclusive toy from Medicom on their store. So, if that's interests you, be sure to check out 3D Retro on Instagram to stay on top of all that stuff. But Teresa, since you just mentioned all the surprise releases that Kid Robot's doing, there's a new 8-inch Dunny drop coming this Friday, and it's from Jesse Hernandez, amazing artist. He just came off of doing 2 5-inch Dunnies with Foot Locker, and now he's doing this 8-inch one, and it's glow in the dark, and it looks awesome.
Oh yeah, that one is, and that one's like a crazy like custom sculpt kind of deal. Like it is a Dunny, but it's I don't know, like it's the Dunny shape, but there's a ton of sculpting on it, and it's killer.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Congrats, Jesse. If anyone who doesn't know or isn't familiar with Jesse Hernandez, he's Urban Aztec on Instagram, and he's probably actually one of the nicest guys in the entire designer toy scene, so I'm very excited for him. These look amazing, and he always crushes the Dunny platform. So, yeah, awesome work.
Okay, so while we're talking awesome things, can we just have a moment of just pure excitement for the new Vinyl Artist Gotcha series coming out, and the fact that there's going to be freaking baby Seedless in it, because oh my god, they're awesome! I'm so excited. March needs to be here now because I want them in my collection.
What you guys don't know is Teresa DM'd me on Instagram the second she saw those apparently, and her text message, she was freaking out. Like, oh, it can't be that great. And then I clicked on the link, and wow, I was probably worse than her. I was like the wolf in all those Tex Avery cartoons. My tongue falling out, my eyeballs bulging and popping out of my head. They're awesome.
Oh, my God. They're so cute. And Seedless is like one of my current... So, I got really into the Zeke dinos, and you kind of get into these pockets, right, where you're just like, this is what I want to hunt. And I've been in like a Seedless hunting pattern, especially after getting that rainbow pink one at Decon. So I've been trying to collect them all. So I was really excited to see these. There are obviously other people in the series, but Dawn, I don't want to try to list them because I will represent them poorly. But I heard that there is one that's with the first Chinese artist to be in a series.
Yeah, Toys Being Cheese. And then I found the image. You got your Seedless, which that character is actually a collaboration with Paradise. So that's kind of cool that Medicom is working with Paradise and Shoko to make that in the VAG. There's 0313, who's a Japanese artist. Her stuff is really cute. She does a little fox with the target and stomach.
Yes, and the little cute smiley face ball on its head. It's adorable. I like that one too.
And then there's Botang by Studio Mames, they were actually at Decon as part of the Medicom crew. They're a designer toy couple. They've been in the game for a while. And then there's the Corsica, which is sort of the kaiju entry. These are pretty cute, though. He makes these kind of funky dinosaurs. I mean, his regular size vinyls are actually pretty cool. Yeah, they made little cute ones for the VAG. Yeah.
What number VAG series is this?
18.
So it's not going to hit stores for a few more months, like March?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's March timing.
Okay.
They basically come out one a quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Don, let's move on then. So Don, I have a question for you. How do we get more Western artists and companies out to the Eastern conventions? There's just so many conventions. Asia is having its boom for sure. And it really seems like the place to be, but it's kind of hard to venture over there. I think one of the downsides is there's so many conventions and really not that much information out there about it. So I think it's overwhelming for a lot of people to decide if they should go out, should they make the financial leap to go out there, and which conventions are they going to try out first. So it's overwhelming in that regard. But do you have any suggestions as to how we might get more people out there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking about trying to figure out some way to get a gaggle of Western artists over to Taiwan for next year.
No, I think it's cool if you can help facilitate that, Don. I mean, getting some people out there, and I know you've been great about getting people from over there over here. So
yeah, that was what guys would you want to see? I mean, I know that Gary said he was really disappointed that How to Work didn't come to Decon. What other artists from Asia would you like to see come to Decon?
Well, for me personally, there are certain artists that work with Unbox that I collect a lot of their stuff, and I would love to have a chance to meet them. Two in particular would be Ziki Wu, who does all of the different dinos, like the ice cream dinos and all of that, and then two Nathapong, who does all of the Elthies and Greenies and all that. Those two, I think, would be awesome artists just because I collect so much of their stuff, and they seem like the nicest people ever. And actually, in talking with Dan at Decon, I think he's going to try to bring them next year. So I think that would be awesome. I really hope he can coordinate that because I think it would be really cool to be able to meet them and get sketches and all of that kind of stuff. But overall, I feel like through you and some other booths, I mean, I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of artists like Kaori, who does Hinatik and Morris, Shoko, Yasu. Like, there's a lot of artists who I have had a chance to meet so far. But I know the unboxed ones are the ones that jump in my mind the most, just because I have not had a chance to meet them yet, and I collect quite a few of their things. But I don't know. Gary?
This is probably going to sound bad, but I'm not like you in the regard that I feel the need to meet a lot of the artists. Like, it would be it would be nice if it happened, but I don't see myself waiting hours in lines to meet them and get sketches from them. That's not something I would do. But I would love to see more of their toys coming to the stateside conventions. And I know there's a few booths that might pick up some Kosing Lung toys or Kenny Wong and bring like very small samplings of those toys. But I would love to see a larger bulk of Kosing Lung toys or Kenny Wong or other artists that we're just not able to get here stateside. And also, I would also love to be able to see just more of that Asian culture that we talk so much about that you probably take for granted, Datadub. It's just that all that sort of like the gachapon machines. I would love to see a wall of gachapon machines with not just VAG, but all of the different series that you're experiencing, all the offbeat, off the wall sort of stuff. And I've also seen some places also are doing vending machines where they're dispensing blind boxes out of vending machines and stuff like that. Like, that's the sort of stuff, like a unique, weird area at the Stateside Convention where you can kind of get that Asia experience a little bit.
A gotcha wall at like a Decon or 5 Points would be so fun.
Mm.
Or yeah, like those vending machines, like Toys R Us Plus. I know did some for Bok Bok.
Yep.
Where you could go up and you're right. Like a lot of those really cool. Maybe to them is like normal, but like we don't see those things over here at all.
Yeah. I know there was a couple vendors that had gachapon machines, but it'd be cool just to have just one section you go to. That all
like a giant,
just a giant area where they all accept the same coin or something like that. That'd be cool. I mean, that's a huge ask, but that would be cool.
Would you guys be fine with the frustration of not knowing which one you're getting, though?
Well, but I think if it were stuff that like I couldn't normally get, like you think about the gachapons, like when we were talking to George about all the different ones they have over there, if there were a way to get that kind of stuff, like the banana birds and all of that aren't really over here, I think it'd be fun to take a gamble on it.
It would be fun.
I did think of one more artist, Dawn. Yo-Yo Yang, who does Yoki the Bad, and now all the different, she's doing stuff with Unbox, with Rabby.
She could be part of that Unboxed entourage since she's working with them.
Yes. I like meeting the artists. I still have the collector in me, so I still like going up and meeting people and getting sketches and fanning, being a fan, and what is the name of that?
You're being a fangirl?
Yeah, just
a nerd.
Being a little...
A nerd.
Actually, did you tell people? I don't remember in the episode. Did you tell people how long you waited in that one line just to get a sketch of your dog?
No, we actually never got to talk about that. So I waited an hour and a half to meet the artist behind OK Luna, Dawn.
Yep.
And he was he had collaborated with My Plastic Heart to sell a lot of OK Luna figures. And on each day, Saturday and Sunday, he was doing free sketches. And they were not just like pen sketches on like your sketchbook. I mean, it was like a nice flat canvas, full color, taking requests. It was awesome. And of course I missed it on Saturday, and the line on Sunday was huge. I waited an hour and a half to be able to get up there, and I decided to incorporate Bailey, my little dog, into my sketch. And it was super fun. It was a blast. I got to talk to everyone in line and hang out. And then I went to go show Gary and George, and they had zero excitement for me. They were like, oh cool.
Next time, show it to me.
It was awesome. It's part of my haul photo on Instagram. It's on the floor. You can see little Schnauzer hanging out on the Joby Fox. But anyway, I will happily nerd out and wait in lines. I waited, I think, at the first 5 Points. Simone from Tokidoki was doing signings. I think I waited like 2 hours to meet him.
Yeah, you're way more of a fangirl than I am. I don't think I would wait in a line for any of that stuff.
Oh, Gary, you're a girl too.
No, you don't want to take pictures and get sketches and stuff signed because you're integrating the scene differently. I think I'm still a collector at heart, so it's fun for me. Like I got nervous meeting Simone. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the guy behind Tokidoki. Ah.
He was at Tokyo Comic Con as well. They had a booth. I mean, it's not so big in Japan yet, Tokidoki. So I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I kind of walked by the booth and just kind of, wherever I see a Tokidoki booth, I stick my head in, and he was just standing there looking at his phone. I was like, what's up, dude? It's like anywhere else in the world, you get mobbed.
Wow. Okay, well, speaking of Tokidoki and Japan not, I guess, adhering to them so much yet, I feel like a newer thing coming over here that seems to have exploded recently, Dawn, is Pop Mart. Is that just new for us over here, or is Pop Mart just exploding in general? Because I feel like they are pumping out a ton of stuff right now, and of course it's all cute and adorable and blind box focused, and I feel like I want it all. But I feel like they weren't on my radar until really this year.
Well, Pop Mart is the company that produces those two big shows in China, Beijing Toy Show and the Shanghai Toy Show.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they have kind of they have a chain of stores selling lifestyle kind of stuff all through China. Basically, I think those two shows in China are kind of shows where they kind of audition and show consumers the new products and see what artists they like. And I mean, I think that's kind of why it looks so much like a licensing show more than just a toy show when they put it on.
That's interesting. But to Teresa's point, in the last year, I've definitely seen Pop Mart's name a lot more. I mean, they've been around for a while, but as far as producing on the like a minifigure level, they've become a big player in minifigures. I can't speak to all of them. Teresa could talk on that more, but I know they've done like Punky Art, and they've probably done 3 or 4 series in just the last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they did stuff with Solji, with her satyrs. They've done stuff with Fluffy House. They do stuff with Kenny Wong and his Mollies. I mean, there's, to me, a crap ton. And they just did a Tokidoki one for Christmas. I mean, the amount of stuff they put out for Christmas, holy crap. So for me, at least, it's like all of a sudden it was just like, boom, they're there. And oh my God, it's all good.
Nice. So, I mean, yeah, if you have, 200 retail stores, blind boxes that's a good product to have because people will buy those all day long. They're harder to sell online though, but I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I buy them online.
I'm just looking at a picture. It looks like they have a vending machine full of them.
That's what I'm talking about. I like the vending machine thing. I think that's neat. I don't know.
Could you imagine if I could walk into like a Target or a Kroger, and instead of the like crappy stuffed animal crane machine and the Coinstar, there's a flippin' sweet blind box vending machine next to the Cokes
with a red, white, and blue colorway for you to purchase.
No.
All right, I think that's fine. I think we can start wrapping it up. Let George get back to molding. Teresa get back to work. I'll get back to being a grouch.
I can go to the office.
You can go to work. We can all go back to work. How about that?
Nice.
Thanks for joining us, Don. I know we haven't had you on in a while, but we wanted to get you on at least once in 2018.
I was happy to be here to, talk you down.
Our listeners don't know what you're talking about, though.
I think
It's been good.
So what he's talking about is I came into this episode so grouchy, just so grouchy. I mean, I was a downright asshole. I was a jerk. I'll admit, I was a jerk. I apologize.
Oh man,
stuck it there.
I feel like friends or something.
Yeah.
You've come in sangry before and you've come in hangry before, but I think this is the first time you just came in angry.
Yeah. I just had a shit day at work, and then you said that you were busy. You're probably not going to be joining, and just we hadn't prepared, and so I was just not in the proper mindset to sit down and do this, and I took it out on poor Don. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I was here for you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
You sat down on
Love
the
you.
Martian couch, had a mini therapy session, and then we got to it. All is well.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Don,
Yeah,
I
fun.
miss you. I want to see your face again.
Oh.
5 points?
Yeah, yep. 5 points.
We'll see him in June at 5 points.
Definitely want
5
to see you guys in 5 points.
And we got to be nice to 5 points. We can't have another negative episode on a convention.
Happy.
Positive vibes.
Maybe I'll come out. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Hi, George.
Yes, George, you got to go. This will be the 3rd year. And it's going to be awesome. Like, you West Coasters, you like to stay put. You have perfect weather year-round, theme parks, all these conventions. You make everyone come to you. But time for you guys to go to East Coast. Come on.
Too far.
Yes. George, come. Be with us.
Yes, George. It's definitely too far. I agree.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So let's each take a brief moment and let people know where they can find us. Datadub, you go first.
You can find me on Instagram at Datadub. Also, if you search for Datadub on Facebook, I think I'm the only Datadub on Facebook. If you want to check out stuff from my day jobs, you can check out at 1000 Toys on Instagram and Facebook.
Teresa,
Yes.
where can we find you?
If you all want to find me, you can check me out on Instagram. My username is tmhawk24.
George.
I am at Double G Toys on Instagram. Go buy my stuff on my store envy. WGToys.storeenvy.com.
Okay. Okay, I am Gary Ham. You can find me at Gary Ham on Instagram or superham.com. You've been listening to the Marsham Toy Hour. We do this every week, not because we have to,
But because we want to.
and we may or may not be back for the rest of the season. We don't know, but if we're not, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll catch you next year. So until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.
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 I'm out.